what other ways was the school disrupted after the war? So when it being...
Well, it was very much disrupted by going to being evacuated. But the only experience I had of that, when the flying bombs came in the summer of 44, the underschool was evacuated. We joined the main school for about 4 weeks. As you might know, we very quickly eliminated the flying bombs because we overran the sites from which they were launched. When we invaded France, we quite quickly got hold of the sites. In fact, there were V1s and V2s. I don't know if you know much about them. The V1s were rocket planes, which looked like planes. The V2s were rockets that came out of this high atmosphere and just came plunging down and destroyed wherever they landed. And because of that danger, we were evacuated. But I wouldn't say there was a lot of disruption to the school by the time I came to it in 1945. They came back to London. I can't say that the war had impact on the day-to-day activities of the school. We still had lunch in college, dining room. The school numbers were a fraction of what they are today. I would say there weren't more than 220 boys at the school when I came. So each house was quite compact. There were 40 scholars in college. But I do think it made us, all the pupils had, and teachers, there was a much more serious side to being an Englishman, a young Englishman in London in 1945. I was here till the summer of 1950. There wasn't a roof up school.
Okay.
The Greaze took place, the bar was there.
You did?
But it was open sky.
Oh, you still did?
We still had the Greaze on Shrove Tuesday. There was, of course, no building work going on. There wasn't much maintenance. The condition basic, but people accepted it then. I mean, as a side, I can mention to you that when I first bought a place in the country, in 1968, which I still have, the two properties across the road from me, I don't know, 100 metres to the right, 100 metres to the left, were occupied by old ladies, widows, who had no electricity, no running water. They had a pump outside their kitchen door where they got their water. The lighting was oil lamps, and that was 1968. So, admittedly elderly people who probably had moved there in the 20s, and that was quite common in the countryside. It was only when they died and people bought their houses that electricity was installed into those houses and running water. And that's 68. So you have to, I mean, really, in many ways, we're going back an awful long time, aren't we? I mean, here we are in 2014, and I'm talking about 1945. It's nearly 70 years ago. A lot has changed in those 70 years.